Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Dark Souls Remastered playthrough. This is episode 12 of our playthrough, where today we will be tackling Izalith. Now, I think I'm going to split Izalith into two parts, similar to how I did the Catacombs and the Tomb of Giants. I think I'm going to end up splitting it into pre-Centipede Demon and post-Centipede Demon, just to kind of give myself room to breathe, also because those two area separations do feel like two separate areas. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started without any further ado. So luckily I've already killed Ceaseless on this playthrough. I don't remember which episode we did it, but that's less time that we have to spend worrying about that. So we are going to instead go straight to the lower section. Now we're gonna rest at this bonfire just in case we die. All right, the demon ruins. Actually, yeah, that's perfect. So we'll do the demon ruins, and then we'll do the demon ruins in this episode, and then episode 13 will be Izalith. So let's go ahead and handle the demon ruins. Now, if Ceaseless Discharge were not dead, we would need to go kill him over there, and then we would have access to this area. Otherwise, it would just be filled with lava. You can see a lot of Taurus demons out there. That is a little optional area over there. We're gonna go ahead and kill them, though I am incapable of claiming the prize that they are guarding right now. And I won't be able to get it until we kill this Centipede demon, if I'm not mistaken. But that is fine. I would rather just go ahead and get it done now and handle anything else later. So the easiest way to do this is to just stop going for it when one starts running at you. Now, despite being demons, these guys are not particularly resistant to fire. So that is what I'll be using to kill them until I run out of pyromancies, in which case I will switch to the good old-fashioned Chaos Blade. We're using all things chaos to kill the demons, which is ironic. Alright, next. Oh, we might have gotten two of their attention. That's fine. One, two, well, it doesn't really matter. I missed. You see, it starts mattering when I'm not actually damaging them. Let's see, how much do my normal hits do? Huh, that's pretty decent. Alright, one down. Alright, that's the second one. I refuse to be killed by what is essentially the first boss of the game, not counting the Asylum Demon. Even if it was a 2v1. Alright. Next. Did I even hit him? Let's see. I did not hit him with that first one. Alright, good to know. Okay, Fire Orb is decently strong. I honestly wasn't sure just how strong it was going to be. given that it is literally, I think, only the second upgrade after Fireball, or Fire... Yeah, Fireball. Alright, we'll deal with this last one the old-fashioned way, I guess. Wait, is that the last one? Yeah, it is. So, there are 2 items here in the lava that I cannot get because the lava does far too much damage. But once we kill the centipede demon, we will be able to claim those prizes. Until then, let's continue with the demon ruins. Alright, next we're gonna, now that we've dealt with all of those Taurus demons, we have to deal with a bunch of Capra demons as well, so let's get prepared for that. So there goes 1 Capra demon, which I think are only slightly higher in rank than the Taurus demons. Right. And then I believe we have to prepare for an invasion. Let's see. I believe Knight Kirk invades us somewhere around here. Just can't quite remember where. There it is. Alright. And he spawns behind us. Right there. Take those. Alright. I believe there is one more Kirk invasion, but it is not until we get into Izalith proper. I could just drop right there, but I'll do this the quote-unquote right way, I guess. Alright, it's 1 down. Now, the reason Capra demons are more high rank than Taurus demons, I believe, is because of their ability to cooperate and get other creatures to, you know, do what they want them to do, instead of relying purely on brute strength. Because if it were purely down to strength, then obviously Taurus demons would be higher ranked than Capra demons. Taurus, not that Capra demons are weak, mind you. Those machetes that they carry around only look lightweight because they make them look lightweight. They are, in fact, very much strength weapons. You need a lot of strength, and they are just casually two-handing, or not two-handing, but dual-wielding them. Which should tell you all you really need to know about how strong they actually are. Alright. I'm gonna show you something cool in just a second, but before I do that, let's keep on progressing. So, next we have to deal with these guys. I mean, they aren't difficult. So here's the cool thing I promised to show you. This is the centipede demon. It's like kind of stalking you throughout this area, until eventually you get to its boss room and its boss fight. Some green titanite for those of you who are and again, trying to infuse your weapon with some elements. I'm gonna kill this thing, which is gatekeeping our bonfire. Fire lit, awesome. Didn't have to rest there, but I did want my pyromancies back. Alright, so we are going to continue. You do want to be careful of those centipede-looking creatures, as they can, they shoot as an acid, I guess, and it breaks your equipment, which is a not good thing, obviously. All right, got that attack right there. And my weapon is broken, of course. I don't know which weapon. It was probably my pyromancy flame, which is surprisingly fragile as a piece of equipment. Oh, when I'm standing perfectly still, you can't hit me. Piece of. Alright, let me see. If this next pyromancy I throw doesn't do that much damage, then it broke me pyromancy flame. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Oh god. These things are annoying and dangerous. That's fine. I'll repair the pyromancy flame when I get the chance. I don't really need it for this section, so it's fine. I'm also just running low on Estus as well. Oh, well then. You know, I would like to say that I have no one but myself to blame for that, but it really feels like the camera screwed me there. Yeah, I think locking on caused the camera to switch. Hold on. Some more of my equipment than just the than just my pyromancy flame, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, locking on caused the camera to follow the Taurus demon, and when that happened, it changed the direction of my roll, which caused me to go off the side of the ledge rather than where I was intending to go, which was just forward. Let's see. Now let's try to avoid a repeat of that. Instead of locking on when I roll, I'm just gonna... Yeah. I guess at the end of the day, it was still kind of my fault. I shouldn't have, I shouldn't have locked on. Knowing how finicky this, game's camera can be. Alright, so here, you're going to want to... Yeah, there you go. We have the large flame ember, which we can take to the skeleton blacksmith, if you recall. I'm not gonna waste my time with these guys. In case anyone didn't know that they were not perfectly parallel with each other, now you do. You can just run past them. Let's see. Yeah, really the only thing left for me to do is come up here. I don't think there are any summons for this fight, so there's no point in me coming back to life for it. Let's just look around, make sure I'm not missing any items. Oh, hello. Alright, perfect. There's a Capra demon over there. I think another one of those centipede creatures pops up as well, up here. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess not. I guess it's just this one. Okay. Well, what we're going to do really quick is go and repair our gear. I'm pretty sure Dark Souls 1 is not like Dark Souls 2 in the sense that we can repair a piece of broken equipment ourselves. I don't think we need a blacksmith for it. If not, then I'll just do a quick cut and come back after I've repaired it, but I'm pretty sure I can do it myself at a bonfire. Yeah. It's kind of sad they removed that in Dark Souls 2, at least to my knowledge they did. Actually, no, it's because Dark Souls 2's durability worked differently. Your durability would automatically replenish, but if a weapon or item actually fully broke, you needed a blacksmith to fix it. Get up. We're gonna ignore him. We're gonna kill these guys. Alright, so before we go and tackle the boss, what we're going to do is come through this little side area. Wow, survived. Thank goodness for 30 vigor. Or vitality, whichever one it's called in this game. Vitality. All right, so you can only open this door from this direction if you are rank, I guess, either 2 or 3, whichever one it is, in the Chaos Servant Covenant. And we are doing this for a reason, which you will see shortly. Honestly, I feel like it would make more sense to come here before we go to the Tomb of the Giants. Just because you have the whole pyromancy thing, plus the... Oh, one sec, let me see if I can't. Alright, I'll just quit out. You have the pyromancy flame, which... pyromancy ember, rather. Which you can give to the blacksmith skeleton. This is what we wanted, by the way. As well as this sunlight maggot, which you can use as a light source in place of the handheld lantern, which will free up both of your hands in case you actually wanted to use like a real shield or something. Unfortunately, if you're watching this in order, then, and you've never played this game before, then it's too little too late if you've been following along with me. But if not, then, you know, you would have known to come do this. But give me one sec, got a crystal lizard to kill. Alright. Well, let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Unfortunately, I probably won't be able to use souls to level up again for quite some time, just because I want to go ahead and handle the thing with the pyromancies and a pyromancy flame, just to get that out of the way so I don't have to think about it anymore. And just in case anyone is unsure, I know I pulled this up earlier, but just so you can see, I'm level 60 currently. These are my stats. You honestly could beat the game with this. You don't have to level up any further. I'm going to continue leveling up, but it's not really necessary. With the gear that we have and the abilities that we have, we're good to beat the game with this, but yeah. You know what's better than fighting a boss 2 times? Fighting it a 3rd time. We get to fight another clone of this boss type, I guess. Min Fire Sage. All right. That's over. And see, we are slowly but surely building back up our humanity reserves after completely decimating them. Okie doke. Let's see. And there's these guys. That one isn't alive. And then we can unlock a pretty good shortcut here. Just sworn there was an item down one of those paths. I guess not. Going up. And boom. We are here. So, I'm going to make a quick trip back Quailana. I have some 86,000 souls. Going to use that to continue purchasing pyromancies. I believe I concluded I needed 70,000 to buy all of her spells. So we're going to do that. And then maybe we'll use the centipede demon souls to level up our pyromancy flame some more. Here she is. Again.
Ah, it has been some time, truth be told. I thought you had perished. I have a favor to ask. My mother, the Witch of Izalith, was one of the primeval lords. Her power came from the soul that she found near the first flame. She focused this power to light a flame of her own. But she failed to control it. The flame of chaos engulfed Mother and my sisters and molded them into deformed creatures. Only I escaped. And now I am here. But my mother and sisters have been in anguish since. I beseech you, free Mother and my sisters from the flame of chaos. I cannot do it myself. I lack the strength and the bravery. But you, I realize what I am asking. But please, free their poor souls. Mother's ambitions were misguided, no doubt. But surely 1,000 years of atonement is enough. Now go. Whatever you do, do not crack and go hollow, lest my time spent on you be wasted.
Alright, so she's officially given us the request to put her mother and sisters out of their misery. Which of course we're gonna do. Interesting that she doesn't bring up her brother. Another thought I had on the way here actually is that it's interesting that we only know Quelaag and Quailana's like names. We don't know any of the other sisters' or even Ceaseless Discharge's real name. Heck, we don't even really know if Izalith was the witch's name, which I very seriously doubt. So yeah, Quelaag and Quailana are the only confirmed names that we know as far as I'm aware, which is interesting. Also interesting they both begin with Q. Now, of the witch's children that we know of, obviously there's the Fair Lady, there's Quailana, there's Quelaag, there is Ceaseless Discharge, there is the corpse that was laying in front of Ceaseless Discharge. There is one more confirmed that I can think of later on that we'll encounter in the next episode. And then potentially two more, depending on how you interpret the lore. So, the Witch of Izalith had plenty of children, definitely. And again, we only know the names of two of them. Alright, so let's go ahead and get back to it. I didn't have to come this way. I already committed to it though, so... let's keep going. Nope. Alright. Then we come down this way. I need to call my dad tonight. I just thought about that. After he gets off work. Alright, so there's a bonfire here. And the centipede demon is right there. I kind of forgot that the demon fire sage and the centipede demon are right next to each other like that. I can't level up with this amount of souls, but what I do need to do is reverse my hollowing because Solaire can be summoned for this fight. He's not very helpful if I'm being perfectly honest. In fact, he's kind of the opposite, but just to show you guys. So here's a item here. Soul of Brave Warrior. Honestly, I could homeward bone back to the bonfire, but if I do that, there's the fun in that. If I die, actually, I was gonna say if I die, I die, but I don't want to have to use another humanity. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Solaire isn't very helpful for this fight, but well, let me take that back. In my experience, Solaire has not been very helpful in this fight. That is not to say that he is not helpful in this fight, but I've never known him to be all that great here. But let's go ahead and fight the centipede demon. Gosh, I love the way my character looks. There is one other area the centipede demon can be seen from, which lends further credence to the fact that it's stalking us. Also, it's completely immune fire, so there's no point in me even attempting. But I honestly, for the life of me, I cannot remember where that other spot that he shows up is. We just kind of have to wait for the centipede demon to decide, yeah, that it's going to not be in the lava. Sworn I rolled that, but it's fine. And the orange charred ring is exactly the item we needed. So we're going to do a little bit of cleanup around here, then I'm going to do the item read because next is Isolith. So I need to equip that so when I go trudging around in lava, it doesn't just instantly murder me. Okey doke. Pretty sure, yep, there's an item over here. Lava damage and fire damage must be separate because I don't think any amount of fire resistance will really save you from the lava damage. I could be wrong, of course, and of course, if anyone does happen to know in the comments, feel free to let me know. But yeah, lava in all three of the Dark Souls games honestly is just extreme fire, essentially. See our buddy Solaire here. Sup, bud?
Why?
Oh.
Why? After all this searching, I still cannot find it.
You okay, buddy?
Why? After all this searching.
Alright. Solaire's looking kind of depressed. First we're going to warp back to the Daughter of Chaos one more time. Because I'm pretty sure I missed an item that I want to get. So let's go ahead and there we go. Because I just fell to the bottom last time. Alright, and since we're down here, we may as well see if this... Uh-oh. Nice. We may as well see if this next part will automatically happen. So the reason we came down here to kill the sunlight maggot bug is because if we don't, then Solaire will come down here and we'll see that creature as his son that he's been looking for, the thing that he was so depressed he couldn't find after all this time. And he will have gone crazy and we'd have to put him down, which we don't want to do. It'd be a potentially very sad ending for Solaire. And let's see, is he automatically down here or do I have to progress the area? Okay, looks like I have to progress. That's fine. We will see him later. Oh wait, no, he's right there. I just walked right past him in my genocide of these creatures.
Was it all a lie? Have I done this all for nothing? Oh, my dear son. What now? What should I do? My son. My dear, dear son.
It's okay, Solaire.
Was it all a lie? Oh.
Okay. So yeah, Solaire is in his sad boy era. We'll be seeing more of him later. Keep trying to tell people not to put their trust in Gwen after what I learned. Now I'm pretty sure there's actually, I didn't show it to you guys when I was there, but when you're in the Tomb of the Giants, you can actually see into the demon catacombs. And I want to say when you're down here, you can see that same opening. I'm looking for it, but I don't know where it is per se. But it just goes to show just how interconnected this entire world is. But yeah, there's a place in the Tomb of the Giants that you can see clear into the demon ruins. And I'm pretty sure it's vice versa, but I am struggling to find it right now. Oh well. But we also did get some interesting lore in that the reason that the demon ruins look the way they do is because the Witch of Izalith tried to harness the power of her soul to create a fire of her own, which she then lost control of. Which, of course, could be the very reason why Quelana is so... warns us so much about the danger of being consumed by our fire. And, you know, Laurentius before we had to do what we did to him. You know, I am really enjoying this playthrough. I don't know. I haven't done just like a purely, well, I say purely. I haven't done a mostly, I guess, martial playthrough of Dark Souls in a while. My last couple of runs with my friends have been more magically inclined. I guess the only exception is Bloodborne, but Bloodborne is a different type of game altogether. Where you don't really get access to the magic, quote unquote, in Bloodborne until at least like the end of the early game / part way through the mid game. So yeah. In that game, you really don't have any choice but to be a martial character for a good percentage of it. But I'm slowly working my way towards the Eldritch Truth. I'm gonna start working on getting my endurance to 30. And then going back to do dexterity to get that up to 40. But enough yapping. Let's do the item read. Let's see, did we get any just generic inventory items that need to be read? I don't think we did. All right. I'm almost certain we didn't get anything worth reading here. All right, what about here? We got the, did we get the large flame ember? No, that was last episode, yes? Actually, I think we might have gotten this last episode and I didn't read it. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to read them both. Ember, large flame ember. Ember required for weapon ascension. Large flame ember used in ancient rites. Handled only by blacksmiths knowledgeable in ancient methods. Ascends +5 fire weapon. Allows reinforcement to +10. The most powerful level for fire weapons. Then we have the Chaos Flame Ember. Ember required for weapon ascension. Chaos Flame Ember is an art of the lost city of Izalith, handled only by blacksmiths knowledgeable in ancient methods. Ascends +5 flame weapon to chaos weapon. Chaos weapon can be reinforced to +5. Chaos weapons are demon weapons augmented by humanity, which inflict fire damage. Now, the difference between flame weapons and chaos weapons, for those of you who are wondering and potentially want to go down the flame and chaos route, the more humanity you have, the more damage your chaos weapons will do. So they still do fire damage, but it would be further augmented by your humanity, which I'm pretty sure is why you can only ascend them to +5. I don't think you can do +10 chaos weapons like you can +10 fire weapons. So that humanity differential makes up the difference there. But generally chaos weapons are stronger if you have more humanity. We did get some more pyromancies today, so let's read those. Great Fireball. Ultimate Fireball Pyromancy. Hurl Giant Fireball. Salaman, the Master Pyromancer, also called the Great Fireball. After this spell, believe pyromancy was rooted in an adoration of fire. Those who acquired this spell usually agree. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I already had both Firestorm and Chaos Storm, so I'm not going to... Actually, I don't know if I had Firestorm. Primal Pyromancy, taught by Quaylana of Izalith. Erect the fire pillars in vicinity. I may have already had it, but if not, it's good to have read it. I saw Quaylana's name and I figured that I should. One moment, a friend is calling me. He doesn't usually call me, so this might be important. Okay, and we're back. So... my friend was calling me because his brother-in-law and his brother-in-law's girlfriend found some kittens, and he was trying to pawn one off on me, which I am not in a position to take care of right now. Alright, Fire Whip. Primal Pyromancy taught by Quaylana of Izalith. Sweep foes with Fire Whip. The root pyromancy of combustion, but much more difficult to wield. I think we got Undead Rapport as well. Advanced pyromancy of Quaylana of Izalith. Charm undead and gain temporary allies. The living are lured by flame, and this relationship is part and parcel to the art of pyromancy. Can be used by either gender. I'm not entirely sure why they specified the gender thing. Okay, let's see. Did we get any new weapons? I don't think... yeah, we did. We get the Demon's Catalyst. Demon Catalysts formed from Izalith molten rock. Can be used as fire weapon. The Demon Fire Sage was the first demon and the last master of the original fire arts before the Witch of Izalith was engulfed by chaos, creating pyromancy. So yeah, I don't know if I covered this in another episode or not, but before there was pyromancy, there was just flame sorcery. And I believe this item description is saying that the Demon Fire Sage was the last flame sorcerer, which is funny because he doesn't really use any flame sorcery unless, of course, that little dome attack that he and the stray demon both could use is a form of flame sorcery. So yeah, to say that he was meant to be this legendary figure, he's just the first demon. It's very much not impressive as a boss fight. One sec, he's calling again. Okay, he wants my financial advice because I think he's going to take 2 of the kittens. I didn't even tell you what the problem was and why he tried to pawn one off on me. So he believes that he can't afford to take care of 2 kittens. There are 3 total. I think his brother-in-law and his brother-in-law's girlfriend is going to take 1, and he wasn't sure if he could take the other 2, so he wanted to split the 2 and give 1 to me. But now he wants my financial advice to see if he can financially afford to take care of this extra kitten. Okay, so we're gonna read the spiked shield because I don't think we got that previously. So, shield of the infamous Dark Wraith Kurt, Knight of Thorns, covered with spikes. Can be used as a weapon. Sharp spikes cause heavy bleeding. So, interesting little tidbit there. Kirk is a Dark Wraith, which actually is something I believe I knew but kind of forgot. But interesting to be reminded of the fact that, yeah, he's a Dark Wraith, but for whatever reason he isn't, much like ourselves, kind of ironically enough, is in service to the fair lady. Right, let's see. Did we get any new armor today? It doesn't look like it. Oh wait, sunlight maggot. A loathsome parasite that inhabits Lost Izalith. It is completely immobile, yet still lives. When worn on the head, it emanates blinding light, which is why it is known as a sunlight maggot. Alright, and our rings to round out the item read for today. Right, the charred orange. The orange charred ring, I believe, is the only ring item that we got today, so. An orange ring enchanted by a witch reduces lava damage. Since his sores were inflamed by lava from birth, his witch sisters gave him this special ring. But fool that he is, he readily dropped it, and from that spot a terrible centipede demon was born. Okay, the he being referenced here is not made evident, but I'm 90% sure it's ceaseless discharge. And yeah, the other witches of the other chaos witches made it for him because again he was covered in lava sores. And where he dropped it is where the pyromancy, or not pyromancy, the centipede demon was born. But yeah, hope you had a good time with me here in this episode. And in episode 13, we will be tackling Lost Izalith. But until then, hope you had a good time, and I will see you later. Peace.